The Tao of Self-Confidence, Episode 62. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of real women producing extraordinary results by finding their inner journey to self-confidence 5 days a week. Get your free audiobook at our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Well, hello friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan. And today I have a special lady on all the way from the Philippines in my hometown of Cebu. She has a booming restaurant called Kairos, and she's doing things that are not really normal in the Philippines, right? We're always told to go to school, get married, get a job, and just do what we're told. But I'm glad she was able to do something on her own and become successful at it. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to Chip Lopez. Chip, how are you doing today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourself to the listeners.
Doing great. Your comment just made me laugh about, just getting married and everything. So, about myself. So 3 years ago, I went to culinary school in Cebu. Then I got into yoga. After that, I was always a sickly kid growing up. So when I started doing yoga, it actually helped improve my immune system. My brother, who was a doctor in the States, saw this, and then he invited me to go to Cleveland, Ohio to do a yoga internship. It's funny how everything just kind of fell into place. I met this chef. He's a plant-based whole food chef. His name's Chef Jim Perko. He convinced me to work for him in the kitchen, and then the rest is history.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And listeners, if you hear some background music, it's just because she's actually at her restaurant, so you can feel what it's like to be at her restaurant. And I haven't even been to it, so when I go back to the Philippines, I'm going to go there for sure. So, Chip, what's your cultural background?
I was born and raised in Cebu. My mother and father are both half Filipino Chinese. My parents were very conservative growing up, but one thing I remember, we would always go out for dinner, eat out. So my introduction to different cuisines was actually at a very early age. I credit that to my love for food now.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And what would be your favorite self-confidence quote?
Okay, so if I had to choose one, it'd probably be by C. Joy Bell C. And it goes, and maybe that's what confidence really means, the acceptance and belief in every single atom that you are.
And, what would be your definition of self-confidence?
Okay, so my definition of self-confidence is really quite simple. It's self-love. It's really just, accepting every single part of you, glorifying it, celebrating it, and just being okay with who you are and who you're not.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And it's so important having self-love, because a lot of women, they feel like they need love in their lives, but they have to realize they have to love themselves first to attract that kind of love into their lives. So thanks for sharing that. And Chip, what was your life like before the discovery of self-confidence?
So, growing up, especially, I guess, because, we're in a very small country, I always felt different, like I never quite fit in. That saying, square peg in a round hole? Well, that was me. It took a really long time for me to find my place under the sun. If I were to pinpoint an exact moment, that would be probably like 3 years ago when I was 26. And, it took even longer to fall in love with the person I was becoming.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And what was that aha moment when you realized, you were able to do the things that you can do today, like be able to open a restaurant and become an entrepreneur?
Okay, so not to sound religious or anything, but my aha moment was when I realized that God's timing is perfect, never a minute late or a second early. When I accepted this truth, I began seeing a whole different world. Like, I felt like the Berlin walls that I had around me for so many years just, went away, and I took a step back, and for the first time in my life, actually watched everything just unfold before me, believing with all my heart that every single moment was leading to something beautiful.
Don't worry about, everyone has their own religion, and, we believe it doesn't really matter where you're coming from. I mean, if that's who you believe in, and especially in the Philippines, it's a very very Catholic nation, so, everyone's welcome. But, I'm glad you're able to, figure that out for yourself, like just let everything unfold, because, so many people, and especially women, we just focus on like the now and like the immediate results, and we forget that delayed gratification. So, I'm really glad that you mentioned that. And what's your life like now?
So my life after the discovery, to tell you quickly, I was always a very negative person. In my life, everything was always impossible. Everything was, hard and everything. When I found my aha moment, when I finally realized that secret, I took down the Berlin walls that I built for myself, and I started seeing this whole different world. I started becoming a blue sky thinker and, getting excited with life and everything. And shortly after that, I met my alter ego, the Lady Chef. So I really started this grassroots movement because I knew what a plant-based diet did for me. I just didn't want to inspire people with my story. I wanted to create change. And after that aha moment, my life became a testimony of dreams coming true and the power of one. I really believe that saying that everything starts with you. And I think that Kairos is a solid proof of that.
Awesome. Well, thanks for sharing that. And, I've seen, pictures of the restaurants and your cooking classes, and, it's amazing what you can do, especially in a country like the Philippines where it's like, plant-based diet isn't normal, right? I mean, we're brought up with barbecue sticks and like meat stands everywhere. And, it's really great to see something like, a vegetarian and a vegan style or plant-based vegan style of living and eating, right? Especially with the amount of oil and fried stuff you get in the Philippines,
Right.
It's great that you're doing something totally different that's out of the box that not a lot of people will probably agree with, but, once you keep on, just promoting it and just sharing your movement, it's just gonna like soar. So, I can't wait to even try it. And, if someone was listening to your episode, they're inspired to, take action in their own lives and do something different, what would be that one tip you would give to them regarding their journey to self-confidence?
Okay, so before I answer that, I just want to share how funny life is. Like a few years ago, I would laugh if someone told me that I'd be on an interview giving people advice on self-confidence. But I'm thankful for this opportunity. So I guess what I want to share with people is just really fall in love with yourself first, fall in love with God. And just continue believing that life is beautiful and that everything that is meant to happen eventually will. That all you need to do is really just to love life and believe in the goodness of man and just be open to everything.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Thanks for sharing that. And it's true, right? Just, having faith in yourself that everything will work out in its place. Just go out there and just keep doing what you're doing, like what you did. You started out with the Lazy Chef, and then now you've branched out to this restaurant and cooking class, which, I've been seeing like great results and great feedback, and it's just really taking the action.
Thank you.
No problem. I mean, it's all about taking action in what you believe in. So I can't wait to actually go back and try it out. So save a spot.
Me too. Me too. Are you coming back soon?
Probably sometime next year, so save me a spot. I know it's only reservations. And Chip, if our listeners wanted to get to know a little bit more about you and your restaurant and your movement and what you're all about, is there any links or any social media profiles we can connect with?
Yeah, so we have a Facebook page and an Instagram account. It's both called Kairos by the Lady Chef. So that's Kairos.
Awesome. So to the listeners out there, if you ever plan to go to the Philippines, especially in my hometown, Cebu City, it's a great city, especially if you love the beach and, make a pit stop at Kairos, feel free to go to thetowofselfconfidence.com, search for Chip's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else we talked about. And I really just want to thank Chip for taking the time to do this. So, I'm really glad that, you took the time to share your story and what you're all about. And, it's funny because we just found out we went to the same high school in the Philippines. So it's so cool that, we have this, I guess this common thing, right? Because I went to the Philippines for high school for about 3 years. So, I just love sharing stories about women, especially in my hometown where it's such a small, like little island. So thank you, Chip.
Thank you.
No problem. And to the listeners out there, be on the lookout for another new episode of another amazing woman's journey to self-confidence, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Thank you for joining us at the Tao of Self-Confidence. Head over to thetowofselfconfidence.com for full recaps of every show, our amazing blog articles and resources, and just plain fun. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits, so start today.